She's in.
Service and then go
Put a
back.
few signs out.
Welcome everyone to the Public Works
not.
Committee.
North Country.
Appreciate you being here this morning.
Supposed to put.
Let's begin by approving the minutes of the previous meeting. Mr. Bruno on the motion, second. Second, Ms. Turner. We're ready for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Thank you, everyone. What would you like to start? Parks Recreation, Kevin? What do you want to start with?
Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna start with if you don't mind, if the committee doesn't mind, solid waste and recycling.
Okay, without objection, we'll start with solid waste and recycling. And what do we have in front of us?
So, I will let Scott get into some of these, but we have action agenda items, and the first one on there is a miscellaneous request to ratify the action of the chairman of the board who apply for the grant application. This is the DEC MWR grant, and this is for the retract software cost, and it'll be a 50% reimbursement. The only reason we need to do it now is because, and have the chairman's actions ratified, is because it's due November 3rd. October 31st, so this will not be able to make the board meeting in time, so.
Why don't we bring this forward? Ms. Turner, Mr. Cressida on the second. Any further discussion? Questions? All right, then, we're ready for the question. All those in favor of approving item 1 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next item, Kevin.
Yes, so next up, for 2026, we kind of reevaluated the costs we're gonna be charging the town, so. When we started, we wanted to, make sure we were hopefully covering our costs and providing the towns with, with a rate that was. Lower than what they were paying for the private haulers. So for the upcoming year, the rates will go from $2.76 a mile to $3.14 a mile. And this is based on a few things. We are adding another truck. The good news is we're getting 90% of that cost covered by the local government efficiency grant. We also added into the overall fee structure, the idea of a rental truck. So we have a couple months of a rental, because as we know, things happen with mechanical items like our trucks. So we want to be ready for especially things like July and August next year. So we did add 14,000 for rental vehicle. And then we also have another position we've added. Again, 90% of that's going to be covered for 3 years under the local government efficiency grant. So that's good news as well. And then the other item that will increase is the tipping fees are going up a fairly small amount for each town based on the bid contract that we put out. It's the year 2 rates. So those rates will go up for MSW, C&D, as well as the recyclables.
All right, let's bring this onto the table if we could. Mr. Strainer, Mr. Bruno on the second. Any other questions? Any questions?
My only request is that we amend that resolution request so that we incorporate the bid schedule. So that we do not have to bring this back through next year. We can do year 2 and year 3 tipping fees. And if there's a need to adjust the mileage rate, then that can come through as an amendment in the future.
The supervisor that made the motion and the second, are you good with that?
Fine.
Okay. I seem to remember the rate, even with these changes, the town was still saving money.
Correct.
Considerable amount of money from what they were paying privately.
Correct.
So it's and all this is going to add to reliability, and that's the most important thing, because this flow doesn't stop, believe me, it just keeps coming. Right, then we're ready for the question. All those in favor of item 2 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 2 is carried. Item 3.
The last item we have down there is just we've had some overtime in solid waste, and I'm just transferring some funds to cover the cost. And it's only $204. So.
All right, transfer of $204. Can I have a motion, Mr. Bruno? Mr. Strainer on the second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of item 3 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Thank you. Anything else you want to talk to us about here, Kevin, under solid waste?
I will turn it over to Scott for the working group update.
Yeah, just quick update. So as you may know, our working group meets monthly, looking at compost as well as recyclables, trying to come up with solutions that save money and direct these kind of materials to a more environmentally responsible kind of pathway. So we're still working through our Climate Smart Communities compost grant. It's routing with the state. And in the meantime, we were able to secure some technical assistance from the Center for Ecotechnology, which is funded by the New York State DEC. The few items that have been identified are the wetlands have changed for New York State in 2025. So we're kind of working through that, as well as it was identified that, you know, being within 10,000 feet of the airport is going to require us to basically make sure we communicate with the FAA how we're keeping pests away, especially birds, because they obviously don't want birds kind of coming into the airport area. So the good news is our technical assistance, which we didn't have to apply for the grant. And it's someone who basically works in the compost industry, and he's helping us kind of work through how we can kind of communicate what we're doing to make sure that we don't go up against any of these FAA rules. Additionally, recyclables, we're still apparently in contention for the EPA grant. We may know as early as December if we were awarded the EPA grant, which was 1.4 million to a centralized baling and collection facility for recyclables. So hopefully more to come on that. We've also been looking at taking commodities like cardboard, which are already separated. It's a clean commodity. So we're looking through kind of coming back to provide a business plan for how we can kind of collect that cardboard and sell it directly to some buyers. Because currently we're paying $90 a ton to get rid of it. I think that's all I had.
Do you want to talk about the glass?
Oh, glass. So we also, right now we collect glass at the Tony Pit in Warrensburg. It's kind of just sitting there. It does keep it out of the waste stream, but I contacted Tomra, which is the company, it's a Norwegian company, but they collect all the bottles from the redemption centers. I met with their buyer yesterday, and they would be able to probably at about $10 a ton collect our glass that we currently collect at transfer stations. Right now, the transfer stations, the towns are paying nothing, but it would probably be about $10 a ton for them to come up and pick up the glass. The good news is they actually melt it down into new glass. So, you know, it's probably a better pathway than what we're doing currently. They also looked at the Tony Pit, which we have a significant amount of glass, that the technology is evolving pretty quick, that they may be able to excavate that site and take the glass that we've been that we've been collecting in the Tony Pit. So they would need a way for us to aggregate the glass that's not directly on the dirt. So we'd need to have some sort of concrete pad and kind of system to collect the glass, but we're in the preliminary stages of looking at how we can kind of put our glass to a better use than we currently do.
Well, I mean, I think the idea of mining, if you will, that area to get that glass into a recycled stream is a wonderful idea for a lot of reasons, right? I think if we can do that economically, and then it makes the site that much more usable for us. So that could win-win for everyone. Where we use the recycling to clean up that site. All right, anything else? Next,
That's it for solid waste.
Scott, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can dive right into parks and recs.
Okay, without objection, we'll go right into Parks and Rec.
Sir, thank you. The first four items on the agenda are a request for a new contract with all components being the same. I didn't know if you want to try them individually.
Let's bring items 1 through 4, correct?
Yes,
right, let's bring 1 through 4 to the table. Mr. Cressida on the motion, Mr. Bruno on the second. All right, it's something we do every year, correct?
Yep, this just extends the year. It'll take us into 2026. The term is from Jan 1 to December 31st. The rates will remain the same, North Warren, South Warren, and Thurman. Are the same rate, and Hagus as well. So,
So that's the county paying the snowmobile clubs to maintain the trails.
yep, so snowmobile program for maintenance.
All right, any questions, Mr. Bruno?
So obviously, we have a good track record, if you will, with these.
We do.
We do.
Is there any desire to make this renew annually subject to the same terms? Or we can continue to do new contracts every single year?
Good idea.
I love the idea of, extending it, if the terms stay the same, if the term and the rates, everything stays the same, why? That's what it's forever, but we're thinking like maybe with the 3-year term.
We can do it until terminated by either party, renewable on the same terms.
What's your pleasure, Dean?
Sure, I mean, that would work fine. The only things we ever have to deal with is maybe a new president, but other than that,
Supposed
that's
to make
an
a
update.
motion. Do you agree with that amendment to,
Yeah.
that it renews, automatically renews unless, decided different by either party?
Yep, it's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that's the only difference there in there is that there's, over the years, there's been many different presidents and the presidents that are listed, I think, as part of this lease agreement, are they not?
Yes.
They do change over the years, so we'll just have to kind of put that in the lease, whomever the president may be.
Okay, that's understood.
Mhm.
Okay, ready for the question then? All those in favor of approving items 1 through 4 as discussed, this automatic renewables signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you. Next item.
The next item, number 5, is just to renew the contract with Saratoga Snowmobile Association. This is for use of the right of way, and it allows Saratoga County Trails to connect to our Warren County Trails. No financial component to that whatsoever.
Bring this forward for consideration. Ms. Turner, that Mr. Strainer, did I see a?
Still here.
Okay. Mr. Strainer on the second. Thank you. Any discussion? Mr. Bruno?
I assume they're furnishing insurance
Yes.
for this.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? We're ready for the question. All those in favor of item 5 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Next item.
Next item we have on there is a miscellaneous request. This is to amend the fee schedule at Up Yonder Farm. Actually, not Up Yonder Fam. Misspell, at Up Yonder Farm. Basically, the Schedule A for Up Yonder Farm hasn't changed in a significant number of years, and we're looking to increase the cost. Kristen is here and she came to actually talk about some of the things that they've done over the year. And I'll certainly let her get into talking about this as well, but we haven't increased the cost for many years. We are trying to stay competitive while still bringing individuals there. We are probably on the low end of the cost that we have associated with our facility compared to some of the others around the area. So I will turn it over right now to Dean and Kristen to talk about kind of the changes that we're looking for, if our supervisor will allow.
Yeah, absolutely. If without objection, Christian, what do you have?
Right, yeah, so we're just looking at some small increases in our fees. So our day use fee currently right now is just $5 per vehicle during the off season. It's $6 in July and August. We're looking to keep it at that $5 during the off season and just bump our summer up to $8 per vehicle. During the summer, we have a lot more kind of exhibits and things open for people to do. So I think bumping that vehicle by $2 is fair. We're doing a lot of great improvements at the farm and giving people more things to do while they're there. So I don't think that's going to deter our visitors by any means. And then next is just our program fee. So when a school group comes, we're currently charging $5 per child. Just looking to bump that up by $1 for $6. We've had a lot of schools already reach out to us for the 2026 program year. We've already kind of put some feelers out. Are you still able to come if we do change our fees? It hasn't deterred anyone from not wanting to hold their date for 2026. So that's not going to be a strain on the schools that we are working with. Also just looking at that dollar bump. No, I just, special programs is when things like our wreath making program that's coming up, things like we do owl pellet dissection. These programs have a little extra cost on our end for materials and supplies. So keeping the low end the same, just bumping it, that range a little bit more. That higher range is only used for my wreath making programs, and just the cost of my supplies are just increasing yearly. So I'm currently at the top of that range. That gives me a little wiggle room to bump that in the future if needed. Our outreach programming, we are going out to schools that can't come to us at the farm, just kind of looking to cover our kind of hourly rates a little bit more. So we're looking at bumping those up by $25 an hour. And that kind of goes in line. We're looking, typically we do larger groups at a time. So it's still in line with that kind of same per child rate in that outreach. And then just bumping our membership costs to cover, increased day use and program fees across the board. So just small increasing, but we're looking, it can possibly bring in about a $7,000 increase a year in our income to help like kind of focus on some of these improvements that we're doing.
Yeah, that's the one thing I would just want to add, because I always kind of reiterate this, is as you all recall, the funding that comes in Albion Farms is from the trust. There's no money typically put in there from the county, so when there's increases for cost of things, when there's increases for salary, there's only a certain amount of money that comes in every year from the trust, so we want to make sure that we cover those costs, because I don't think we want to have to come back to the county and say, hey, we're not covering the cost anymore at up on the farm, and that we would have to use county funding to do it. And I'm not sure how that would go over. So this, certainly, as I said, as I started this, these haven't been changed for a very long time. So these minor incremental increases to us is not significant. It brings in $7,000, give or take more, into Up Beyond the Farm. And it's, again, even with these increases, we're still lower than most other places that have an educational, environmental educational facility.
Mr. Bruno?
I don't know a lot about it, but the second item here, the program, that looks like pretty good attendance there. Do you consider that? I mean, over 3,000.
And that's on the low end. Yeah, I just ran our numbers for this year, and yeah, our program attendees are, we're already at that 3,000 mark, and we still have a couple of months to go. We average about 10,000 visitors to Up Yonder a year.
So,
And that's so 3,000 of them are just school kids coming.
Yeah. Good.
Do you have a season pass that you offer?
The memberships, yes.
The membership?
Yep,
Okay,
yeah.
That's how much, just so we know.
And that's the thing. So right now it's $80 for a family, and then we're looking to bump it to 100 for a family for the year.
For an individual, we're looking to bump it to 50.
That's the season. And
Yeah.
that gives you access to facility and events.
Yes, yep. So our programs, you come for free and you can come use the grounds for free. Yep. With that.
All right, then let's bring this forward for consideration. Then Mr. Bruno on the motion, second, Ms. Turner on the second. Any further discussion? We're ready for the question then. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Next item.
Next item, number 7 is a request to accept a donation. There's a local bike shop down near our Leonard Street parking lot on the bike path. At that shop, the owner had approached me and asked if we might consider that. I guess an employee, an exemplary employee, she has something that happened in the family. They're gonna have a little memorial plaque placed on it for her father, but they'd like to donate that, and that's something that's not at that location currently that would benefit the site. So it's strictly, as you saw in the packet, there's an image of a bench that's there, and it would fit fine. At most, if we put a base in there, it would just be a DPW permit with no other way from it, so.
Let's bring this forward. Motion forward, for consider Mr. Crucito on the motion, Mr. Trainer on the second. Any further discussion?
Nope.
We're ready for the question. All those in favor of item 7 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries.
The last item we have on there, number 8, is a transfer of funds, and this is just to cover the overtime for the remainder of the year. I don't think Dean has enough in the budget to cover the rest of the year if, we have snowstorms or other items that take place. So this would be a transfer of $2,000 to cover the rest.
Right, transfer $2,000. Can somebody bring this forward for consideration? Mr. Strainer, Mr. Bruno on the second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I carry. Discussion purposes,
Yeah.
trunk or treat.
Yeah, very good. Coming to our very own Bolton Landing, New York. Up Yonder will be offering that from 3 to 5 this coming Saturday. And we brought it up last meeting. I won't go into great detail, but it is a lot of fun and there is an amazing amount of local town support from every civic group and there is there. So
Good.
it's always turned out very well and we look forward to another great season.
And I will add on that I'd like to thank Supervisor Conover, because they typically, when we get filled in our parking lot at Up Yonder, they will allow us to use the parking lot down at Veterans and bus people up to Trunk or Treat.
Yeah, it takes a lot of pressure off 9N, that
That was our
We don't
goal and
want
we
those
took care of that the
vehicles
very
on.
first year.
people walking.
Yeah.
That's not
So-
good. And also, I think that the hours are good because it's still daylight out.
And that's saying, yeah, a couple of years ago, we moved it,
That's for.
we're starting it earlier. We used to
don't
do it in
need
the dark.
people Moving around there at night, that's, so, next item, thank you.
Yep, fish hatchery update very quickly. We're in the fall season. We stocked out 1,125 rainbow trout, 1.5 year olds at about 12 inches. We will be finishing up with getting our landlocks out at the end of the month. And yet to push out, we'll have all of our surplus brookies will be going out, our 2-year-olds that are about 14.5 inches. And the yearlings that are about 8 to 10 inches out into the Screw and Hudson rivers. So looking good at the fish hatchery.
So everything there is in good shape now, you have the roof.
The roof is, we're in the process, we're in the process of setting the schedule with the contractor and we'll find that out shortly in the next week or so.
Good.
So it has been awarded.
Anything more on Up Yonder for an update?
That's, I'm gonna turn it back over to Kristen and give us any more of an update of things that they've done over the year or.
So I know, yeah. Dean,
Right,
do you
quick,
want to take
hold on.
that? Yeah, sorry.
No
HVAC
problem. You're
stuff.
good.
Nope, that's fine.
No,
Yep.
and that, I just want to, I keep giving updates because Kristen went to great lengths to make sure she secured the ZBJ capital grant funds. Both HVAC systems were in place and running. Everything looks good. Our new propane contract has finally worked its way out. We have tanks where they should be. Just got hooked up to the generator that was part of that as well. So that should be up and running by the end of the week. And all we'll have in our second of 3-year grant is to clean up the courtyard. We'll be ahead of the schedule and we're on budget. So, and aside from that, that does put us in a great place actually, as far as planning goes. The whole purpose of that grant was to get the HVAC, the atmosphere control system in place. So we could go after another nice line item expenditure, and that is to replace all the taxidermy.
Yep.
And actually bring that museum back from a little lack of maintenance. So.
If you haven't sent a letter yet to the town for funding for next year through the
It's coming, yes.
stock tax, make sure you get a letter into us, okay?
Sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anything else? Well, thank you so much. Kristen, good seeing you.
Thank you.
Glad you were able to make it this morning.
Yes.
Dean, always a pleasure.
Thank you. Sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Second. I love it's always.
We move into public works.
Without objection, we'll move into public works.
So the first one would be to decrease capital project, return the local match to the fund source, D995910.
Okay, are you transferring that in item 2?
Yeah, we are actually,
So let's,
actually 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's bring 1, 2, and 3 forward if we can.
Sure.
Mr. Bruno, Mr. Crucito, are you good on the second? A second for Mr. Crucito. Any discussion?
Nope.
ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Next item.
Next item on there is to enter into a new contract. This is for on-call electrical repair, installation and upgrade services. Bids will be in 11/6, so I will have the bid tabs before the board meeting. But this is to award it to the lowest responsive bidder, and the ability to have 1 year contract with 2 optional 1 year agreement, contract or years after that.
Okay, let's bring item 4 forward for consideration. The turn second. Mr. Bruno, yeah, and towns, municipalities can piggyback on this
They most
as well.
certainly can.
We've utilized this. We haven't gotten a list from Kevin on those contractor types that we have on standby already that you can piggyback on. That's a list worth having, believe me.
I will forward a list out to all the towns for that.
Oh, that would be excellent if you could
Thank
do
you.
that. It just speeds things up, especially, you know, certain times of the year where
Yeah.
you've got things that have to get done and you've got some people on standby. I believe it's electrical, right now it's
Our electric.
Our Electric is doing our generator.
Yeah, we use them. Craig Mallow, it's good.
Okay, all those in favor of item 4 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next item.
All right, so these next couple ones are I'm gonna have to go through and do a little things now. So the first one is to authorize the superintendent of public works to sign just compensation for right of way in association with 176149, which is the Adirondack Bridge and Beaver Pond Bridge replacements in the town of Horton. Our consultant RK Height had completed appraisals for property we acquired as part of the projects. We had 2 maps or 3 maps identified portions of certain tax map parcels that required acquisition. One of them being Adirondack Lodges Homeowners Association. The appraised just compensation for these acquisitions is $13,500, and my ability to approve them or sign for them is only up to $10,000 limit. So I'm asking that I authorize the superintendent of public works to execute just compensation for this amount in $13,500.
An additional 3,500.
Correct. Just for this, not for in general from here on out, just for this particular project.
And this would be for items 5 and 6.
I don't believe so.
Beaver Pond Bridge is item 6. Okay, that's for another part of it. Relative to item 5, can we bring item 5 forward for some consideration? It would be to authorize Mr. Hajos an additional $3,500 as part of these proceedings. Mr. Bruno on the motion, second. Mr. Crusito on the second. Further discussion? Ready for the question? All those in favor of item 5 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 6.
Though the next item is for that same project, but this is to request to authorize a condemnation process or proceedings for right of way relative to that same projects. There is a certain parcel 20.10-1-24 in the town of Horicon, where our right-of-way consultant has made repeated good faith efforts to negotiate the voluntary acquisition of the required portions. We have basically done all negotiations, have been exhausted, and now it's necessary for us to commence acquisition under the eminent domain procedures law. So I'm asking that the committee approve me to go through with the condemnation proceedings, and there's a lot more involved with that. And I will come back with that later on, meaning we have to do a public hearing. But we just we've over and over again, have tried to negotiate and work with these individuals, and we've got no response.
All right, let's bring this forward for some discussion. Mr. Strainer on the motion, Mr. Bruno on the second. I mean, I think that first thing we should say is that really the whole condemnation procedure, the exercise of our police power, what it is actually, is designed to make sure that the property owner is well represented relative to the process. In other words, it makes us have to go through a certain process. They have the right to appeal, parts of it, and hopefully we get to a final thing, but, they also have the opportunity, I believe, to take it to, court as well.
They do.
But at the same time, it allows us to move forward with projects, right? In other words, that.
Right. What has been their rationale, their reaction? They just feel that it's unfair, not,
I believe they feel it's unfair. As you recall, these are all federal aid projects, so we're required to follow the Uniform Act anyways for them to get a fair market value. But then now they've just shut off. Then they haven't, with repeated attempts by our consultant. to
just
reach out-
unresponsive. Unresponsive.
Yes, no response whatsoever.
Are they represented by council?
They're not.
So I have a question.
Mr. Strainer?
Is this property, are we using this now?
We are not using it now.
And why do we need to acquire this?
We need to acquire this to allow us to, based on the design of the new bridge, based on DEC requirements and such, we need a small sliver of parcel to be able to build the bridge.
So don't these people have the use of this bridge and they need it for getting to their homes?
They do.
So if we don't do this, what's the option here? Do we not take the bridge out and let them go the long way?
You could do that, but this is a federal aid project and we're beholden to the money that we spent on it now for the federal aid process. And the bottom line is I believe based on original discussions, they just want more, but there's just not, based on the Uniform Act and the fair market value, there's no more to give them.
So they want more money for us to acquire this property to do a bridge that benefits them the most.
I think you got it about right.
Hence, at this point, and we're required in the federal aid project that if the negotiations can't come to an agreement, then we need to follow eminent domain procedures and move in that direction. But again, there's a whole process involved with that as well, where we'll have to do a public hearing and say why we're going to eminent domain. They'll be allowed to come to the public hearing and then we would take the property as Supervisor Conover alluded to, that they have a right to say they're still not in agreement with it. They could take it to court, but it allows us to move forward with the project.
So now we're gonna incur more of a cost because we're gonna have to take it to court. So by the time we take it to court,
We don't have to, if I could, Chairman, we don't take it to court. The landowner has the right to
To.
start and commence an action, a special proceeding to challenge the final determination. That's the process that the superintendent is walking through.
so these landowners, is this just vacant piece of land that we need a portion of to do this bridge project to benefit them?
Yes.
It just, it kind of voids of making sense. It's like we're doing this project so you have a safer way to get to and from your homes. And you want to gouge us is basically what we're saying here.
Sometimes.
I'm not saying we, I'm
Sometimes
clear
to
that
get
up.
the correct alignment on a bridge in a modern sense, you move it and you need a little sliver of land to be able to do that. And if that's type of property, then you have a certain process you have to go through. And if we haven't been able to get to a good place yet, then this procedure is in place to allow us to move forward with the project, but then protects the property owner's rights to make sure that they're wholly compensated. They're correctly compensated.
And they feel this property, this little sliver of land is worth much more money than we're offering. Do they have any basis of reasoning for that?
They do not.
Peter?
Has it been appraised? How was the
That's
market
part
value?
of, that's part of what we do as part of the Uniform Act and the fair market value, the third-party appraisal, not even our consultant, a third-party appraisal company comes in and does an appraisal.
And that's been
And
done.
that's what yes.
Were
that's
they
all.
happy with the company that you used or?
Absolutely.
They were happy with it, but the number came back and they were not happy
Well, I
with
don't know
that.
if they were happy with the company. I don't think that's a question that comes up, that we asked them whether or not it's whether. or not-
Sometimes when I go in that situation, sometimes I let them pick the appraisal. I mean, it's,
Yeah, I mean, we're following everything as part of the federal aid process.
Okay.
I'm not gonna defer from that because then it jeopardizes the possibility of us losing funding for that federal aid. process.
okay, so, all right, how far away is the number that
I don't know, because they stopped.
they haven't countered? Would the appraisal come back at? Just curious.
I don't, I
That's okay.
apologize because I don't have the number in front of me. I can certainly find out fairly quickly for you while we're doing this.
And we're not allowed to pay higher than the appraised value of it.
There's a little bit of leeway, but it's depending upon what that number may be.
Right, I mean, you look at how much time and money we'll put into attorney fees and time, and if that number is close to what they're asking, maybe we just agree to pay it if it's not. But that's not in front of us today, so.
And I just sent the question to be number is the amount right now.
We'll get that for you.
Yeah.
This commences the process.
Yeah.
Just continue the process at any point. I assume that if we can come to terms with the property owner, it's a process that doesn't have to run its full course.
Right.
It's not something we enjoy doing, to be honest with you. It's it's an exercise of our police powers, and it's not.
Yeah, this has not happened that much here within the time that I've been here, the last 17 years at the county. I think the last project that I recall it being on is when we did the Exit 18 project, and you'll recall that project, we had 93 takings. And there were 2, maybe 3, I will say holdouts, that we had to go to eminent domain, through the eminent domain process. And then one was a commercial gas station that used to be on the corner of Big Boom Road, which was the old local station. And then there were several other properties where there was either missing owners or several owners who couldn't agree on the value that they were receiving. So they went to eminent domain.
Okay.
All right, well, have we brought this forward yet? No. So this would just authorize, we do have a motion. The motion, just to restate it, would authorize Mr. Hajos and the county attorney to commence the process. But there's an entire process that is involved. All right, then, are we ready for the question? All those in favor of item 7 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carry.
Just want to clarify that.
That-
numbers.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Yes, I'm sorry. Item 6. I'm jumped ahead a little bit. Thank you. All right, item 7.
The item 7 is similar to what I just did, but this is on a different project. This is on the Bay Road over an unnamed water course culvert replacement project in the town of Queensbury. Again, this is the county's consultant on this one. Greenman Peterson has made repeated good faith efforts since March of 2025 to negotiate a voluntary acquisition of the required property interest from Mr. Swinton, who is the property owner. And to no avail, he's shut off all contact with us. And the only one of the things that I can recall or remember in one of his initial requests was not necessarily the value of the money that we were paying him for his parcel or for the property that we need. There's a stream there that he wanted named after his father. We don't name streams. So the Bay, and I will tell you right now, the Bay acquisition, I got both the parcels that just sent to me. So for the one up in Horicon, for 1,150 square foot fee taking and 2,000 square foot of a temporary easement, it's $6,300. The Bay Road acquisition is $700 for 3,200 square feet of a temporary easement that is needed for us to do the work.
Where's the stream?
It's up on Bay Road up by Flockhart Mountain Road where we replaced the culvert. It's an unnamed stream.
Is it
An easement.
always water flowing through it?
Yes.
When it rains.
It's unnamed. I figured, you know,
So you're looking for easement
Yeah.
from the property owner while you construct the.
Well, I'm looking to go to
That
eminent
gets worse.
domain procedures, but yes, we're looking, that was the easement for a temporary easement for that parcel.
A temporary easement.
Yes.
For the one on Bay Road.
Yes. And again, they started the conversation with him back in March of 2025 and he's shut off all contact. He's received letters and he's not responded.
All right, then, on item 7, let's bring item 7 forward for consideration, Mr. Strainer. Ms. Turner on the second. Any further discussion? Again, this would be for temporary easement. Condemnation proceeding. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed? That's carried. Next item.
Last item we have on there is a transfer of funds. This is transfer of funds out of surplus project funds that we have somewhere else to put to Diamond Point Road. This is actually out of the 2024 Diamond Point Road project to complete the 2025 Diamond Point Road project, which has been completed.
Let's bring this forward for consideration. Mr. Bruno on the motion, second. Mr. Strainer on the second. Yeah, I made the mistake of getting on Diamond Point Road when I knew that you were paving over there. That was a big mistake.
No way out.
You managed the traffic well, but that's a very busy road.
It is.
There was a long line of cars. All right, then. Are we ready for the question? All those in favor of item 8 signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed? Carried.
So really quick things, all road projects for this year. There's 2 road projects that we're trying to finish up right now. One of them is Old Stage Road in Lake Luzerne. We had another breakdown at Peckham's plant yesterday and they had put off paving, saying that they were going to do it today. Of course, with the weather we have today, that's not happening. And then the other project that we're trying to get completed for this year, which it will be the remainder of Corinth Road from where they finished off with the culvert project, heading west towards Lake Luzerne, Corinth into Call Street. So those are the last 2 projects of the year. And then the last thing I had, which I think probably Supervisor Conover might have received this as well, is I believe in 2026, the bridge over the Northway at Lamb Hill will be getting a bridge deck replacement. So just stay tuned. I will fill you in more, but I'm sure there will be some diversions in traffic around that area, whether it be narrowed down to 1 lane or such on the Northway when they're doing some of the work.
I was wondering how they were going to approach.
Yeah, I don't have the full details yet, but I just know that they said it's coming up in 2026. So I just want to make everybody aware of that.
Anything else?
That's all I had.
Okay, is there anyone, Mr. Stringer?
I just want to say that Corinth Road Bridge came out very nice.
Thank you.
I drove over that last night and it was well worth the time spent and I saw the pictures and wonderful job.
Thank you.
So when we get that other part finished, I think everybody's going to be quite happy on the Corinth Road.
Just remember, next year we'll be ripping it all up again towards Call Street to do the federal aid project up in there as well.
Well, I don't go over that much, so.
Anyone else wishing to address the committee at this time? There being no one, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Strainer on the motion, Mr. Bruno on the second.